You will become the richest man the world has ever tried to measure. The day you prove it, you will start making yourself poor on purpose. You don't know that yet. Level 1. The weight of salt. You are 14. Niani, Mali Empire. Circa 1294. Slabs of salt come in from the north. Heavier than sacks of grain. Worth more than horses. Your uncle teaches you the scale before he teaches you anything else. What a thing weighs decides what it's worth. What it's worth decides who survives the season. You learn to respect weight before you learn to read. You are ninth in line for a throne you will never sit in. The crown, wherever it is kept, has no weight in your hands. Not yet. Cairo, 18 years before you arrive. At the court of Sultan al-Nasir Muhammad. A treasury clerk reads aloud a tribute list from kingdoms paying nominal respect to Cairo's power. Near the bottom, a single line. Mali, gold producing. Location uncertain. No one in the room can point to it on a map. No one tries. It is a name on a page. Nothing more. In 9 years, this same clerk will not be able to stop repeating it. Level 2. The empty throne. You are 32. Niani, 1312. Mansa Abubakari II stands at the river harbor with 2,000 boats behind him. Certain there is a world beyond the ocean's edge. He sails west. Then, nothing. No messenger returns. No boat limps home. The council waits 4 months. Then 6. On the 7th, they place the crown in your hands instead. It carries no weight of inheritance. The man who owned it never came back to pass it down properly. You will spend the next 25 years making the empire feel its weight again. Level 3. The River of Gold. You are 33. Bambic, 1313. Your empire controls 2 of the only 3 goldfields known to exist on Earth. Miners stand waist deep in Red River mud, sieving until their hands shake. Roughly 2/3 of the world's gold supply moves through your hands before it reaches anyone else's. You set the price. You decide who eats this season. The weight of a single year's mining sits in your treasury before a single ruler across the desert has learned to spell the word Mali. Level 4. The Call. You are 39. Niani, 1324. A scholar reads you the verse on the 5th pillar. The journey to Mecca. Owed once in a lifetime by anyone who can afford it. You can afford almost anything there is to afford. You decide that morning. Not a small caravan. Not a quiet pilgrimage. A weight of gold large enough that the entire world is forced to feel it land. Level 5. The weight of the caravan. You are 39. Niani. The morning of departure. 60,000 people assemble outside the gate. 12,000 are attendants dressed in Persian silk. 500 walk ahead of you carrying staffs of solid gold. 4 pounds each. Close to 100 camels strain under sacks holding nearly 18 tons of gold dust between them. The dust itself smells of nothing. It is the silence in the camp that carries the real weight. No one here has ever watched this much of it move at once. Not even you, fully. Not until Cairo shows you what weight like this can break. Cairo, 3 weeks before you arrive. Word reaches the treasury ahead of the caravan itself. Merchants returning from oasis towns describe a king who hands out gold to strangers like bread. The same clerk who once read a forgettable tribute list now cannot stop repeating the rumor. Money changers begin quietly adjusting their scales. No one in the room believes the rumor's scale is real. They are about to. Level 6. The Empty Quarter. You are still 39. The Sahara. Week 6. The sun cooks the inside of your skull through silk and shade cloth both. Camels die in the sand and are left there. You give alms at every town the caravan crosses. Coins pressed into hands that have never held one before. Word keeps outrunning you. By the outskirts of Cairo. The city already knows your name before it has seen your face. Level 7. The Market Breaks. You are 39. Cairo, July 1324. The Sultan grants you audience. Protocol requires you to kiss the ground before his throne. You refuse. La asjudu illa lillah. I prostrate before none but God. You bow instead, to the air, to no man on it. For 3 months you remain, gifting gold to every beggar, every scholar, every official who simply asks. The price of gold in Cairo falls so fast the money changers stop trading altogether. It will take 12 years to recover. You did this with open hands and no understanding of what an open hand can do to a market that has never had to absorb this much weight at once. Level 8. The Holy City. You are 39. Mecca. Autumn 1324. You stand before the Kaaba in plain white cloth. No crown, no gold staff, nothing marking you as a king. For these days you are one man among 100,000 others, all facing the same black stone. You weep at the threshold. No record explains why. For the only time on this entire journey, gold buys you nothing, not an explanation, not a witness, not even your own reason for crying. Level 9. The Debt. You are 39. Cairo. The return route. Early 1325. The gold is gone, given away, spent, scattered across 3 cities behind you. You need money to bring 60,000 people the rest of the way home. For the first time in any surviving record, a reigning king is documented borrowing at interest from Cairo's moneylenders. You repay it in full. The men who lent it grow richer than they have ever been. What once weighed down 100 camels now weighs nothing in your hands. What you carry home instead is debt, and a name the whole region will not stop repeating. Level 10. The Man on the Map. You are 39. Niani. Late 1325. You do not know this yet, but 50 years from now, cartographers on the island of Majorca will draw you onto a map of the known world. A black king on a golden throne. A nugget of gold the size of an apple held toward Europe. For 2 centuries, that single drawing is the only image most of the continent owns of anything south of the Sahara. One pilgrimage, one picture, one idea that will not leave European memory. Somewhere past the desert sits a king who gives gold away like it weighs nothing at all. Level 11. The City of Scholars. You are 41. Timbuktu. 1327. You bring home an Andalusian architect, Abu Ishaq al-Sahili, and order him to build in burnt brick what this empire has never built before. The Jingariber Mosque, its walls thick as a standing man. Sankor grows from a market crossroads into a university. Scholars arrive from Cairo, from Fez, from cities you will never see, to study law and astronomy under its roof. You did not inherit a library. You built one out of a debt you once owed a city that nearly broke you. Level 12. The Last Reckoning. You are 57. Niani. 1337. The empire stretches across more territory than Western Europe. Over 20 cities. Control of the gold and salt moving through half a continent. Mansa, King of Kings, Lord of the Mines of Wangara. The titles take longer to read aloud than some men's entire lives take to live. You close your eyes in a palace built from wealth you once gave away in a single summer. 3,000 miles from here. To strangers who didn't know your name until the week you arrived among them. The empire will not outlast your son's whole. The titles, it turns out, weigh more than the men who inherit them. None of what you have just lived was written by your own hand. 8 years after you die, a scholar named Shihab al-Din al-Umari sits in Cairo with a clerk who once stood near you at court, and writes down everything the man still remembers. The gold, the staffs, the refusal to bow. Every account that survives you comes from someone who was never you. Recalling a season that, for him, lasted 3 months. For you, it was one summer inside a 57-year life. Wait, it turns out, is decided by whoever remembers carrying it. 2 centuries later, the manuscripts piling up inside Sankor's library will number in the hundreds of thousands. And most of them will vanish from the historical record for reasons no chronicler ever fully agrees on. That collection, and what happened to it, is a story this channel has not told yet. You lived this once. And now,